Hey guys, be sure to like and subscribe. Today we're going to be talking about tourism in the Philippines. Will they open for tourists soon? Well, let me tell you. Here's my thoughts on this anyway. Okay, it was a good thing that they locked down for this reason. Okay, because they stopped it from coming in here. It seems like already. Anyway, that's the good part. Okay, now here's the bad part. That tourists can't come in here, obviously, but I think in the end, when they verify that this particular variant is not as dangerous as they thought, then they'll open up probably and say, well, you know what? We need to start doing something here. We need to start worrying about our GDP because international tourism in the Philippines is actually like 13% of their gross domestic product, okay, their GDP. So here's the thing. Now, will they? I think they will. But I think it's going to take some time to figure this out, okay? Or it might take like 2 or 3 months for this to calm down, and then they'll open up and they'll still do the quarantines, they'll still do all that stuff, or they'll just do that anyway. You know, they'll try to figure out a way to keep it out. And I think that's what they're looking at. Now, how long will that take? I mean, we're in the Christmas season right now. Nothing's really going to happen for December. That's obvious. Probably the first week in December, they're probably not going to get much done either. So I'm thinking probably by the end of January or middle of January or maybe even into February and March, it might take them to figure this out and straighten it out. So will we get some tourism back in the Philippines? International tourism? Well, we have tourism going on right now, believe it or not. Things are opening up. That's the good part. I see people traveling around. I see people walking through the malls. I see this Christmas as being a big Christmas in the Philippines because when I walk through Mall of Asia, and I've been up in Manila all this week, okay? All this week. This is my fourth day in Manila, and tomorrow, guess what? I'll be up in Manila again. And I see it very vibrant because, number one, people aren't wearing shields, okay? And the government's kind of said, you know what? You don't have to wear your shields. If the stores want you to wear your shields, then you have to. The store's not going to make you wear shields because they want your business. So that's the great part about this is we were just walking around with our masks on. We don't have the shields on. It's not hot as hell, and you're not sweating and all that stuff with all that. And it kind of drives you mad, you know, when you have to wear that shield around and it's fogging up because you're in the AC and you walk over to another store outside. You walk across the street or something. Your shield all fogs up because it's cold from the AC, and it's just very makes life very difficult and daunting here. But anyway, here's the thing. I think come by February, now again, don't hold me to this, okay? I think by February sometime, this is my personal belief. I think by February we'll have some sort of tourist opening, or at least we'll have the news to figure out where we're going to go from here, because they have to kind of figure out at this point, are we going to do this for another 2 years? Are we going to do this for another 5 years? Are we going to keep our economy down? You know, are we going to, how long can we do this for? Now, the Philippines is usually the last one on the boat to figure things out. For some reason, I'm not quite sure, but that's it. It always seems that way anyway. They usually follow Thailand or they follow other countries, so they're usually the last one on the boat to figure out things, and it's okay. I get that. You know, it's not a problem. Sometimes they it's best to be last because of the fact that they were the safest. And I must say that right now, the Philippines is in a really, really good spot because we don't really have hardly any COVID in here anymore. It's not that much. The cases are way, way down, and we don't have that Omicron, as far as I know, as of right now. We don't have it in the country right now. So that's a huge plus right there. Now, could it get in here? Of course it could. You know, will it get in here? Maybe at some point it might get in here. Okay, it might. Do I think it will get in here? I think it might get in here somewhere or rather. I'm not sure how it'll get in here. Could be any type. It could be a ship coming in here or something like that. Or it could be somebody that flew in here that still has it on them or something. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. But I think at some point we're going to see it in here. As far as I know from what I'm hearing on the news over here, that it's not that big of an issue. It's not that bad. It's not like the the virus was in the beginning. So this variant is not as bad. That's all the news I'm hearing. Now the news is kind of funky because some people build it up and some people build it down. So you really can't follow the news either. It's kind of hard to, watch the news today because it goes off their political affiliation, kind of like which way they're going to go, which way they're going to swing, especially if you're watching American news. But the world news seems to be like the same thing now. It's what political affiliation they are. It seems that way anyway. It's kind of sad, but the news tends to bend that way now. So for us as expats to watch the news, it's very, very difficult, especially when we're talking about this stuff. But anyway, I think that something's coming up. I don't want to sound political here, okay, but I think something's going to happen. I think something's going to break sooner or later. You can kind of feel it. I could be wrong. I did call this here about the tourist opening, and I did say that, it was going to be a mess. And we opened for the tourists, and we closed it down within 12 hours. They were going to open up on December 1st, and boom, they closed it right back down as soon as they had this variant. And I tend to believe now that we're going to see like a February, March opening, maybe even January if we get really, really lucky. I don't think we're going to get really that lucky, though, to be honest with you. I'm just putting out there what my thoughts on this, okay? And I think February, March, maybe April 1st or April 15th by the latest, but I don't think we're going to drag it out that long. I really don't. I think we're just going to have this opening, and that's going to be it. And, then we'll be back to business, okay? But I do think we are going to see some sort of quarantines for the tourists. Do I think tourists are going to put up with that? Yes, I do. And here's why. Because a lot of people want to come in here. They want to stay here for that 24 to 36 months like they did before. The question is that going to happen? Now, from some of the articles I'm reading, they're very vague on that. And the government, the way they speak about it, they're very vague about that. Whether when they do open, that these tourist visas are going to be able to be, you can keep on getting them at the BI, and you keep on doing it for 24 to 36 months, and you leave and you come back, and I'm not so sure that's going to be the same for the U.S. this time. I'm not sure. I'm hearing that it is going to be that way, but nobody can verify that yet, because I've tried talking to people and calling people. Nobody wants to put out that information yet because they're just not sure. So we're going to have to wait till that happens, wait till that breaks, and then probably call our embassies and then find out what's happening, whether they're going to do that for like the UK, the US, Australia, and all the countries that are unrestricted countries for the Philippines. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed on that they do that, because we have a lot of people that have a lot invested in this country, and they really want to get over here, and they really want to make a life over here for themselves. And I'm hoping and praying that that's possible for them, guys. And God bless, guys. Take care. I hope that helped today. Those are just my thoughts, okay? From what I'm seeing here, because, boots on the ground. But anyway, guys, God bless. Take care.